You are tapped in with Caden. Jaime Munguia suffers one punch KO. Jaime Munguia suffered a devastating, massive, shocking knockout to a man who only had 4 KOs going into their fight. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. This was supposed to be a sweet homecoming for Jaime Munguia. It took place in Mexico. This guy is from France, as you can see. Going into the fight, he only had 4 KOs, and he gave Jaime Munguia a highlight reel knockout. It's a knockout of the year candidate, truthfully, and you can see his KO percentage is under 20%. So currently, his record stands at 26 wins, no defeats, 2 draws, with 5 KOs. Jaime Munguia being his 5th KO, and it came during a fight where, to be honest with you, Jaime Munguia dropped him earlier in the fight. It looked like Jaime Munguia was going to go to the finish, but round by round, Bruno Soares just kept being there. He stayed there, and Jaime Munguia's attack became predictable. He kept coming in. He kept coming in with side to side movement, but it was lazy side to side movement. And as the fight went on, the movement became slower and more predictable. From what it looked like watching the fight, it looked like the steam from Jaime Munguia's punches started to fade and dip just a little bit. And you started to see Bruno pick up his activity, and he started to land on Jaime Munguia. And at one point in the fight, because I watched and I noticed these little things, at one point in the fight, at the end of a round, Jaime Munguia actually touched gloves with him to like say, hey man, like good job, to give him respect that he wasn't giving Bruno up to that point. And I could just tell Bruno's confidence was growing. So at that point, Bruno started to punch with Munguia. He started to take the play and started to attack. And then this vicious masterpiece came. And so let me just move this up a little bit, because what I don't want, oh yeah, so it comes in quick. All right, here we go. So here you see Munguia coming with the same predictable attack, and you can see Bruno's gloves are already there for it, and then watch the counter. Bang, just like that. Now, at this point, what I want you to focus on is this camera guy, because look at him. He's supposed to be taking pictures, but look at how shocked he is. Look, this is why is his name escaping me right now? Oh, I'm gonna be so upset with myself. Hopefully it comes to me. But as you could see, people are absolutely stunned, especially this guy. Now watch. He's supposed to be taking pictures. He had a camera in his hand. Like, I'm not lying. Watch. Hold on, let me bring it back. If you see from the beginning, you see the camera in his hand. Right there. You see the camera in his hands. Why is he not taking pictures? See the camera right there. Why is he not taking pictures of Jaime Munguia on the floor? Because Jaime Munguia wasn't supposed to be the one on the floor. And so now just look at the people in the crowd, absolutely stunned. They can't believe it. And Munguia gets up, and he's in trouble. So anyway, you see there, Jaime Munguia got lazy, and his opponent took advantage and added his 5th KO to his resume. You got to respect the man. He was undefeated, but we all know, you can tell by the reaction of the crowd, this was supposed to be a sacrificial lamb. This was supposed to be a homecoming. This was supposed to be a showcase to rebuild Jaime Munguia after what happened with Canelo Alvarez. Now, you have some Canelo Alvarez haters out there like, oh, this proves that Canelo's resume was puffed up, and that shows the Jaime Munguia win wasn't really that great. That's not necessarily true, because sometimes when you suffer the type of beating that Jaime Munguia suffered at the hands of Canelo Alvarez, you never recover. And, you know, once you get knocked down and you start getting knocked out and you start taking these big type of shots, it becomes easier for you to get knocked out and to get concussed or to get knocked down. So Jaime Munguia, who's been known for taking some punishment in his fights, is perhaps hitting his wall and hitting his limit. Kind of like we saw with Joe Joyce in his fight with Derek Chisora. This guy was known for having a granite chin. He stepped in the ring with Jang and he got sparked out. Well, people gave him the benefit of the doubt. You're like, okay, well, Jang is Jang. Jang is Big Bang. He's known for knocking people out. And then he was fighting Derek Ward Chisora, who really isn't known for being a knockout artist. And he dropped Joe Joyce with a big punch. And that's when people started looking at it like, yeah, that armor that Joe Joyce was once known for has been pierced and is probably compromised. And you look at Jaime Munguia, and when he suffers a one-punch knockout loss to someone who only had 4 KOs going into the fight, someone who has a KO percentage of under 20%, even when you include the knockout of Jaime Munguia, it's not a good look for him. But I will say this, Jaime Munguia was interesting watching him fight. I know that his attack looked very predictable all night. I was just watching him. It seemed like he lacked respect for Bruno. It seemed like he expected to get Bruno out there at some point. And when you do that, when you have that lack of respect for your opponent, we talked about this, all it takes is one punch. And people laugh and people don't understand. The sport of boxing is real. One mistake, it can change and alter everything. Now, the one thing that's interesting about this is I know that Oscar De La Hoya is somewhere laughing and dancing, and he's already given it to Eddie Hearn about being a bad matchmaker. But look at this matchmaking. And I already know what Top Rank would say in their defense. We gave him a guy who only had 4 KOs. The most unlikely scenario anyone would have predicted is that Bruno would have beaten Jaime Munguia with a one-punch knockout. And that's what happened. And that's why we love the sport of boxing. And that's why fights aren't won on paper. And that's why any given night, any given fight, someone can announce themselves to the world. And so, Bruno Soares, salute to you. You announced yourself to the world with this devastating one-punch of Jaime Munguia, one-punch KO of Jaime Munguia. And, some people are saying Canelo's already lined up to fight him. You got to love the haters in the sport of boxing. But anyway, let me know your opinion on this fight, Jaime Munguia. Do you think he's finished? I don't think Munguia is finished. Honestly, I'll take that back. I got to wait and see. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. It's Caden. I'm out. Peace.